Every day in davening, Oz Yashir Meishav Neisol, we say the Shira every day in davening. So the Shira was about Tefillah related to Geula. So it shows the topic of the song of the Shira, how that relates to the Geula, and we'll see something fascinating about these the song that we sing every day in davening. We'll start background in order to get there. Yeshaya Navi says in Perik Tas Pasuk Vav, the Pasuk says, L'marbe ha'misro l'sholim in kates, al kisi David v'amamlachtei, l'hachin oiso l'sa'ada b'mishpat u'b'tzdaka me'ata v'hadelam, kinas Hashem tzvakis ta'as eis. Shaya Navi is talking about Chizkiyahu HaMelech. Prior to the Pasuk, earlier in the Psukim, he describes how Chizkiyahu HaMelech, he's called the Pele, he's called the Yeled, Pele Yeyetz, Kel Giber, it's called the Prince of Peace, as he's described. And this Pasuk, Yeshaya Navi writes, or says, why did he get this title that he was called the Prince of Peace? And the title is, the reason is because L'marbe ha'misra. He added, as Rashi explains on the Pasuk, he added in Yira Shamayim, L'sholim in kates, Kinas Hashem tzvakis ta'asezes, and because he added in fear of Hashem, so therefore he merited to have this pasuk. What is this pasuk talking about? So the Gemara relates in Masachas Sanhedrin, Omar Rab Tanchum, Dorash Bar Kapara b'Tzipori, Bar Kapara taught us in Tzipori, Mipnei ma kol mem shebe'emtza teva pasuach v'zeh sasum. Something fascinating about this pasuk is that the pasuk starts lemarbe with an end mem. Usually, if it's in the middle of a word, it's a regular mem. So why does it have an end mem? So Bikach HaKadosh Baruch Hu Lasis Chizkiyahu Moshiach, it is because the pasuk wants to tell us a lesson, something that this pasuk was supposed to be and it didn't happen. What was supposed to be? The Eibishter wanted Chizkiyahu to be Moshiach. The Sancheriv Gog u'Magog, and Sancheriv should be considered Gog u'Magog, those who fought, those who are going to fight Moshiach. So Amra Midas Adin Lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Midas Adin told the Eibishter, Rebbeinu Shalom, master of the universe, Umar David Melech Yisrael. How about King David? Who sang different songs. Lo Yasise Mashiach, he didn't make him into Mashiach. Chizkiyahu, that he made him all of these miracles. And the miracles are that he was sick, and Hashem healed him, and he was saved the siege around Yerushalayim. Sancheriv was Chizkiyahu won over him. So therefore, nevertheless, Lo Yomar Shira Lefanacha, he didn't sing any song in front of Hashem. Ta'aseyu Mashiach, he'll make a Mashiach. Lekach nistateim, therefore it became closed, hidden. In other words, this mem is a closed mem, not an open mem. The reason it's a closed mem, because it shows on this idea, that Rashi brings actually three different interpretations, but all ultimately point out to the same idea, that Hashem wanted to make Chizkiyahu into Mashiach, and he's not Mashiach. Hashem decided he shouldn't be Mashiach because he didn't sing Shira in front of Hashem. So the topic tonight, which we'll discuss, will be, why is it that because Chizkiyahu didn't sing a song, Hashem didn't make a Mashiach? What is it that in the Shira, what is it that in singing a song to Hashem, what is it which that leads to Mashiach, brings about Mashiach, would make Chizkiyahu into Mashiach? What is there in the Shira, not just Shira of Az Yashir, but Shira in general, Shira in singing? What is that in singing that could bring about Moshiach or make Chizkiyahu Moshiach? What's so special about it? So in order to discuss this topic of Shira and how of a great thing it is to sing and bring about Moshiach, we'll touch upon the first song recorded in the Chumash, the first song, which is in Tanakh in general, as Yashir. We find something very fascinating about this Shira of Yashir. We say every day in davening, morning and evening, right before Sheminah Esrei, we say Shira Chadasha Shibchu Geulim, L'Shimcha Hagadol Asfas Hayom. The Yidden sang a song, praise of Hashem, Asfas Hayom, in the shoreline. Yachad Kulam Heidu V'Imlichu V'Amru. Together they said and they saw and they crowned Hashem V'Amru, and they said, Hashem Yimlich Le'Elam. But it's out in the evening. Machus Rarav Anecha B'Kayom Liftemesha. The Yidden saw Hashem's kingdom. How the Eibishter split the ocean. Zakei Lionu V'Amru. Yud Eibishter, they said, Hashem Yimlich Le'Elam V'Ad. The very obvious question is, Oz Yashir holds in it many psukim, and many different things in Oz Yashir, that is the singing that Bnei Yisrael sang to Hashem, describes of how the gratitude to Hashem, whether it was the sinking of the Egyptians in the ocean, whether it's the great hand that Hashem showed by taking the Eden out of Mitzrayim. Why is it that the Chachamim, Knesset Agdela, the Chachamim chose that? What is the song? Yachat Kulam Heidu V'Imlichu. What is the song? Hashem Yimlich Le'Elam V'Ad. It sounds like from this, in the davening, in the prayer, that Hashem Yimlich Le'Elam V'Ad is the highlight of the Shira of Az Yashir. What's so special, or why is it that Hashem Yimlich Le'Elam V'Ad is the highlight of the Shira? We find the Medrash addresses that, but ultimately it's the same question on the Medrash. The Medrash says like this: Az Yashir Moshe, Adol the Chsiv, it says in Tehillim, Nachin Kis'acha Meyaz. Your throne is Nachin, is set forth Meyaz, even though it was from back in the times. Nevertheless, now it became strong. Amar Abrachya b'Shem Rabbi Avo, Af al Pisha Mehelam Ata. Although you are going back generations, Lo Nisyashev Kisacha, Lo Nidata Beilamecha. Your chair, your throne didn't settle, didn't become strong. You did not become knowledgeable in the world. Till Bnei Yisrael said Shira singing. Therefore it says Nachin Kisach. And the obvious question is, what's so special about the Shira that caused this melucha of the Eibishter to take effect, the throne of Hashem to become strong and to become present in this world? Chizkiyahu reigned over Mamlechas Yehuda, over the kingdom of Yehuda, about 150 years before the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, of the first Beis Hamikdash. Chizkiyahu was the 13th king since the split of Mamlechas Yehuda, Mamlechas Yisrael, and in his times also reigned in Mamlechas Yisrael. Yoash reigned over Bnei Yisrael. And Sancheriv and Chizkiyahu was considered one of the greatest tzaddikim. The greatest tzaddikim. It says about Chizkiyahu, first of all, we all know, many of us know, maybe it's known in the world, and that is, Afilu cherev chadam unachas al tzavari shel adam al imnas me'minat tefillah. Chizkiyahu once said, when Yeshayahu Hanavi came to him and told him that the Gzeirah would be punished. The reason is because he didn't marry, he didn't have any children. So Chizkiyahu eventually told him that even if there's a sword on your neck, you got to pray, you got to daven. That's where it comes from. That Chizkiyahu, there's no such thing as giving up of Yush, but you could daven and change the Gzeirah. And we know that Chizkiyahu healed, became gesund, became well, and he remarried, and he married, because he wasn't married till then. He married Yeshayahu's daughter, actually, and he had 2 children. He lived for many years. After that, he had 2 children. Chizkiyahu was a time when he was a tzaddik. He was a tzaddik. His father was considered a rasha. He did one of the things that he did. Chizkiyahu Malach did was he took his father Achaz and he dragged him on the streets of Yerushalayim. After he died, he dragged him to show how disrespect Achaz was, and it was a disgrace of his kingdom. In times of Achaz, there was no work in the Beis Hamikdash. Chizkiyahu was the one who brought back the working in the Beis Hamikdash. There was no work in the Beis Hamikdash. This is who Chizkiyahu is. So Hashem wanted him to be Moshiach. That makes perfect sense. He was a tzaddik. He was a tzaddik b'deirei. He was a tzaddik in his generation. In the pasuk it says that Hashem made the keshes, the rainbow. 2 generations. Rashi says deiros. It says deiros without a vav. Rashi says there are 2 generations that didn't need the keshes. What were the 2 generations? One was the generation of Chizkiyahu, and one was, according to some opinions, the second generation was Rab Shimon ben Yochai's generation. But the point is, that was the generation of Chizkiyahu. A king was a big tzaddik. Such a big tzaddik that you can understand Hashem wanted him to become Moshiach. And Hashem wanted that Tzaddik Chayriv should be considered Goy Magig. So we could see why Hashem wanted him to be Moshiach. But what caused that Hashem should take away that and he should not be Moshiach? That was based on the fact that he didn't say Shira. What's so special about the Shira that was able to take away this Gzeira was able to take away this positive Gzeira, if you want to say, this positive idea that he should be Moshiach? What's so special about the Shira that he didn't sing, and would he have sung the Shira, the Eibusha would come through and make him Moshiach? So in order to understand what the Shira is, what's so special about the Shira, we'll address a little bit about Kriyas Yamsuf. Something very interesting. Kriyas Yamsuf, the Gemara says in Yerushalmi, you could see in number 7, when Hashem makes miracles to Bnei Yisrael, Tehu Oimrin Shira, you should say song. Shira. Asks the Gemara, Hativain, is that so? Arei Geulas Mitzrayim. There was the Yidden went out of Mitzrayim, and they did not say Shira when they went out of Mitzrayim. They only said Shira later on by the water. And says the Gemara, Shanyohi, this is different. Shehi Tchilas Geulasan. Because Yitzias Mitzrayim was only the beginning of the Geula. In other words, the Yidden went out of Mitzrayim. There were the 10 Makkahs. The Yidden were saved Makkah after Makkah. The Yidden were saved when they went out of Mitzrayim. They took out Kesef, V'zav. Gemara says they took out so much Kesef, V'zav. It was in the equivalent in our times, we're talking about billions and billions and billions of dollars. The equivalent of how much Kesef, V'zav was taken out of Mitzrayim. So that was a big geula. Nobody was able to leave Mitzrayim, but nevertheless, they went out of Mitzrayim. But nevertheless, we say, no, that's only the beginning of the geula. When did the Yidden sing Shira? On Kriyas Yamsuf. What prompted the Yidden by Kriyas Yamsuf to sing Shira, which that didn't happen when they left Mitzrayim? What was so special by Kriyas Yamsuf? What was so chiddush, such a novelty in Kriyas Yamsuf, which they didn't have b'Yitzias Mitzrayim when they went out of Egypt? It says in Pasuk, we find in the Psukim in Ozyashir something very interesting. First, the Yidden thank Hashem for drowning the Egyptians. The Pasuk says, Pasuk Dalid, Markavis Pari V'chela, Yorav Ayom, Umifcha Sharishav Tube V'Yamsuf, the Egyptians all sunk in the water. But then we move on, we actually begin to talk about more individual ways that the Egyptians sunk in the water. Actually 3 ways. Pasuk Hey, Pasuk Zayin, and Pasuk Yud. In Pasuk Hey we say, the last 2 words, Yodu b'mtzeles k'moy oven. They sunk in the water like an oven, like a stone that sinks in the water. Pasuk Zayin, they sunk in the water like kash, straw that sinks in water. Pasuk Yud, Kisomayom, So lalu kaiferes, they sunk in the water like lead. So we obviously see three different ways. What do I mean three different ways? So Rashi explains. Harishoim, the wicked ones, kekash, like a straw. Straw is something very flimsy, very thin. You could break it with your hands. In other words, you put it in water, it's everywhere. Put it in the water, it jumps, it goes up and down. It doesn't just sink. It takes time for it to get to the bottom of the ocean. Which means to say that those wicked people, those Rishoyim, didn't just sink down to the bottom of the ocean, but actually they suffered through when they were sinking. The middle ones, ke'evan. The middle ones, those who weren't, I guess, such great Rishoyim, they were all Rishoyim, but they weren't so great, they were like Evan. They sunk right down. But the Ksherim, those who were better, they were keiferes, like lead that sinks even quicker than Evan, than stone. What do we see by Kriyas Yamsuf? Something that the Yidden didn't see by Mitzrayim is as follows. In Mitzrayim, the Yidden saw there was the 10 Makis. The Goyim got punished. The Egyptians got punished. Makas Dam, Makas Faldeyan, Kinim, and all of it's all true. But it was a general punishment. All the Egyptians got punished with blood. All the Egyptians got punished with the frogs, with lice, and the wild animals, and so on and so forth. The Yidden, however, didn't see yet. Does Hashem have hashgacha pratis? Does he take care? Does he realize who did what to who? This they recognized and they realized by Kriyas Yamsuf. Why? Because by Kriyas Yamsuf they saw some Egyptians, they sunk like Evan, like a stone. Some Egyptians like cash, like straw. In other words, they realized that Hashem, even when the Goyim do bad, and he doesn't just go and say, oh, you all did bad, you get punished. You all did good, you get rewarded. The Eibishter goes individually. Every detail is counted. If a guy does something bad, if an Egyptian does a little bit less, they will be punished accordingly. That is something that expresses Hashem's hashgacha pratis, if you want to say. That is the true level of kingdom. Hashem yimlich le'elam v'ad, the true level of kingdom, the true level that Hashem is a melech, is not just that he rules over the whole world, the master of the universe. But how about the details? Because we know that the world is made out of two things. In general, Chassidus explains that in length. Something called Seviv Kol Almin and Mimala Kol Almin. Seviv Kol Almin means Hashem controls the world in more of a general form. He doesn't get into the nitty-gritty to the individual. There is a general life force that provides life to the entire world, whether it's Daimon, whether it's Tzemeach, whether it's Chai, whether it's Medaber, whether it's a speaking being, whether it's a plant that grows, all get life from Hashem. We don't see the individuality. But then there is the level of Mimala Kol Almin. Mimala Kol Almin means that there is the individuality. There's the individual thing. There is the person, and there is the chair, and there is the table. Different things that Hashem gives life individually to these things. Where is the chiddush? Where is the novelty of Hashem's kingdom? Is when we see that Hashem has a hashgacha pratis, a specific detail. Every little detail, that's where it's counted. And it's not more of a general idea. And that is the Hashem Yimlich Le'elam V'ad. The Hashem Yimlich Le'elam V'ad, it was expressed when the Yidden saw that Hashem took care of them and didn't just took care of them in the general idea, but individually he took care of them. Someone did to you something in a very negative way, in a very bad way, they were punished more than someone else. That is the idea of taking care of the person individually. When the Yidden recognized that and realized that Hashem takes care of them individually, that called out Hashem Yimlich Le'elam V'ad. Why? Because in order to express the individuality, there need to be, as Chassidus explains in length, there need to be an expression of the essence of Hashem. to take care of something, as the Lashon always goes, Kol HaGavaya Yer Lamata B'Yesa. The highest level, where is the highest level expressed, is in the lowest level. Where do you see a person which is wise, a Chacham? A Chacham is expressed, Shlomo HaMelech was the greatest Chacham on earth. Why? What was so tremendous about his Chacham? Of course, I'm not here to discuss his Chacham, I'm not capable of that. But one of the things that we saw about Shlomo HaMelech is that he was able to take the greatest Chachma and explain it to the most simple person. As we know, Shlomo HaMelech would say, well, what would he say? Thousands of mishalim in order to bring it to the lowest, to the simplest person, to the person that is not the deepest person on earth. In other words, the lower we go in the revelation, the lower we go, the lower Hashem reveals himself in the lowest place. That means more koyach, more atzmus, more strength, more essence of Hashem is being revealed. If we don't go that low, Hashem doesn't need to express himself that strong. Rather, a lower level of Hashem could be revealed running Seviv Kol Almin. That's what we see. It is Hashem, the essence of Hashem. Where is it being expressed? As the explain Chassidus in length. Where is it being expressed? Dafka in this world down here, because that's where you see that the Hashem, the power of the Eibishter, that even down here, even in a place where it's really hidden, covered, no godliness, a place where not only is no godliness, only it's covered, but a place where negates Hashem, fights Hashem. There Hashem reveals himself. That is the ultimate level of the kingdom of Hashem. Hashem Yimlech Le'olam Va'ed. That is what the Yidden saw by Kriyas Yamsuf. That's what they saw. They saw in Kriyas Yamsuf this, how Hashem takes care of them individual. That is why there is the Shira. That is why there is a song. How could a Yid express? How could a Yid show to Hashem? How could a Yid express to Hashem that he recognizes that Hashem is Yimlech Le'olam Va'ed? In what do we see it? How could a person do that? That is done through song, through Shira. Why through Shira? I don't know if you ever realized, a person hears a Shir, he hears it once, he may hear it a second time, he's not going to hear it a third time. I heard it already, I am done, move on, let me move on, get more knowledge, learn something new, something, and so on. When it comes to song, we find something different. If you like the song, you're going to hear it again, and again, and again. And you're going to hear it again forever. Another niggin, whether it's a niggin, a chassidische niggin, whether it's a song that I don't know, David, I'm free, whatever the song is. Especially, the teenagers, that's what they do all day, the same song, and they get hooked on a song, and that's what they go to sleep with, that's what they wake up, that's what they go by lunch, or by supper, and by breakfast, that's what they do all day. And that is because when you get to a song, again, over and over and over, you never get bored of it. Why? What's the difference? Why when it comes to a Chiddush, or Rosh Hashiva saying a Shir, you're not going to go to hear it again? But this Baal Menagin singing again, you're going to do it again, and again, and again. Why? What's the difference? The difference is very simple. Because a Shir, a Chiddush, is an expression of the mind. And Niggin is an expression of the essence of the neshama. And Niggin, just like the essence of a person, the essence of the neshama, is something which is unlimited. Something that cannot be limited, contained, covered. Wherever a person is, a Yid, the Pintel Yid is everywhere, equal. That's the essence of the neshama. That's the essence of a Yid. That's why it's a never-ending cycle. You could hear it again and again and again and again. And that is why? Because your essence is living. Something which is a chiddush, a shir, it's not seichel. Seichel is something that again becomes old. It's not your essence. If it will be your essence, you want to do it again and again. Now the Rebbe explains that in Teroer, Pashas B'Shalach, a shtickle of the Alter Rebbe, a piece of the Alter Rebbe, it's a long mimer, but just this detail, Just this detail that concerning the Shira. It says like this. Inyan hanigan hu she'ein boy rak hispilus hanefesh. What is a nigan? That it only has is pilus hanefesh. The excitement, the overwhelming of the heart, of the soul. Mipnei giloy atnuis. Because when you reveal all the kvetch, the niggin, the words, the kvetch style persons when he sings, it expresses his nefesh. It is not that these expressions are logical expressions, and something new. No. It is because that's the way it is. That when a person awakens, he sings, with heart. A niggin mit Herz. It's a hartzike niggin. It's a heartfelt niggin. It comes from the heart. Therefore, afilu benigun yashan. Even if it's old niggin, meaning you heard it already once and twice and 3 times. There is an awakening. Vispilus and excitement, because of this revelation of this movement Shabbat that there is in the song. Kach, says the Alter Rebbe, who inyan avodas halevi. That was the Leviim in the Beis Hamikdash. Bishira with song. Liyos, pchinas hispalus hanefesh mitzad atzma. It is the nefesh that got excited. It is the expression of the heart. That's what song is. V'loy mitzad asaga. Not because they understood, quote unquote, to give birth from their mind. They finally understood something. No, it was an expression of the heart. It is because the Leviim's avodah, the Leviim's service in the Beis Hamikdash, that's an expression of recognizing that there's only one Hashem. Not only there is one, but everything is part of Hashem. It is an expression of the heart. That it should touch the core of the heart, the core of the neshama of a person. Not just to be general. Concludes the Alter Rebbe. This is exactly what Psukei de Zimra is all about. Before Kriyas Shema, we say Psukei de Zimra, verses of song, Psukim of song. What does that mean? Why is it Psukim of song? Because it's from Tehillim? No. It's true, it's from Tehillim, and it's true it's called a song because of Tehillim, but it's much deeper than that. Because at that time, during Psukei de Zimra, leading up to Kriyas Shema, what we want is to awaken the heart of the person. That the person should recognize, I'm davening in front of Hashem. And if we go through these psukim in Psukei de Zimra, that's ultimately what it's talking about. How Hashem is the king, how Hashem created everything, and everything comes from Hashem, and Hashem runs everything, and Hashem gives food, and Hashem sustains, and Hashem gives water, but it's all Hashem. But the point of it is to awaken the person. It's like a song. However, it's just that we're saying a lot of things during that song that begins in beginning of Yichved up until Yishtabach. We say a lot of things, but ultimately the idea is and we're explaining what we're saying. Another pasuk, another way of saying it, but the Sefer's beer with an added explanation. Lefarish adava, to interpret hativ good, lahaliv libay. That's the idea. Lahaliv libay. To awaken the heart, to get the heart excited. V'nafshay and his nefesh, his soul. She's pile mizeh. Masha'inkin, however, k'sha'imrim ha'psukim. When a person just says the songs, ve'einay negeya l'nekudas levaveh, and it doesn't touch his heart, ein ze b'chinas zimra v'nigun. It is not called a song. Ve'ein zu avodah tama. It is not a complete avodah. That's the idea. The idea of a song, the idea of nigun, is an idea, an expression of the depth of the bottom of the heart of a person. And when a person does that, what does a person do when he sings? He is expressing the depth of the Eibishter. He is expressing that he recognizes that it's the essence of Hashem. If it's a lower level of Kedusha, if it's not the essence of Hashem, for that good enough is Seichel. For that good enough is to understand that Hashem gives life. But if it's the essence of Hashem, if it's something that Hashem himself, not just a lower level, Seviv Kolamin, or any level in Seder Shtashas, but it's the essence of Hashem that runs and controls this world down here, that calls out a song, because that calls out the essence, our essence. It's like a mirror. The essence of Hashem calls out our essence. And that comes through song. So with that we can understand why Hashem wanted Chizkiyahu to be Moshiach, but nevertheless, he took that away because he didn't sing. Because as we said earlier, Chizkiyahu HaMelech had suffered a lot. He was very sick, we mentioned earlier. It was a gzeira. He was punished to die. Yeshayahu Navi said, you're eventually going to die. That it was a gzeira. And what happened at the end? He became well. Yeah. He davened to the Eibishter. He changed the gzeira. So what happened now? He became well. One thing. Another thing. There was Sancheriv. He was conquering out Yisrael. He began in Mamlechas Yisrael. Then he moved on, conquered all the cities around Yerushalayim. He was ready to conquer Yerushalayim. He was ready to go. And Yeshayahu Navi told Chizkiyahu, don't worry. And we know the story. Navi says that overnight 180,000 soldiers of Sancheriv were killed. The Malach came and killed them. And Sancheriv ran away. Which, by the way, in the archaeologists in Eretz Yisrael, they found a lot of things that Chizkiyahu did. Let's say the Mayan Ashiloyach, there's the channel that Chizkiyahu built under Ir David. They found it. They have it. And in the channel itself, there's a scribe. It's written what year they dug that thing. It says that they met, because they were digging it from both sides. They met in the middle. So where they met, they put a plaque, and they wrote. It's written Chizkiyahu was the Melech, and this is what we did. We know that the Chima in Yerushalayim, there's a wall around Yerushalayim in certain places that is a very wide wall that Chizkiyahu built because Sancheriv was coming. And that's the channel that he also built, was because of that. And what happened at the end? Sancheriv ran away, and he was, and Yerushalayim wasn't conquered. Yerushalayim stayed in the hands of Chizkiyahu. These things, how Hashem is taking care of Bnei Yisrael individually. Why? Hashem took care of Chizkiyahu, that he was well. He became gesund, he became well. Hashem took care of Bnei Yisrael, and he didn't allow Yerushalayim to be conquered. Which, by the way, 150 years later, when Yirmiyahu came around, at the end of Bayis Rishon, and he said that Beis Hamikdash will be destroyed, nobody believed him. Why? Because he said 150 years ago, it was the same thing with Chizkiyahu, and Yeshayahu Hanavi said that it will not be destroyed. That the Beis Hamikdash, Hashem protects Yerushalayim, Hashem protects his city, and he protects his house. So it will not be destroyed. So 150 years later, the Yidden didn't want to believe Yirmiyahu that that's what's going to happen. Because they had experience 150 years earlier. But nevertheless, Chizkiyahu didn't sing to Hashem. Obviously, it didn't touch the core. It didn't touch his essence. It didn't touch his yichida. It didn't touch the essence of his neshama. And therefore, he didn't express true gratitude to Hashem, true song to Hashem. He didn't express. And because he didn't express that, which again, song is the idea of the core of the neshama, core of the person. Therefore, Hashem didn't make a Moshiach. Because Moshiach is someone who needs that Hashem should be living in him, in his core. It should touch his essence. It should touch his etzem neshama. It should touch his essence. And therefore, he didn't. Chizkiyahu didn't. There are many perushim why Taka Chizkiyahu didn't. What happened that Chizkiyahu didn't do? Some want to say that he wanted, but he felt he wasn't in the right place to do it. It's simple. We're not answering that why he didn't do it. The bottom line, he didn't do it. And because he didn't do it, that caused that he will not be Moshiach. So we see that in order for Moshiach to come around, in order to bring Moshiach into this world, one of the things is song, singing. Not singing Seder Negunim, but singing. Song is an expression of the essence of the neshama. And the song comes when a person recognizes how there are miracles the whole time. The Eibishter is Ashgacha Pratis on the world. Ashgacha Pratis on the Yid. Ashgacha Pratis in Eretz Yisrael. Ashgacha Pratis with the Goy. Everything is controlled by the Eibishter to the little things. And comes a Yid and sings. Singing means an expression of gratitude. It comes to the essence of the neshama. But then, with Hashem B'Zeicha, that Mashiach will come, reveal himself in this speedily in our days.
Amen.
Good evening.